All right, hello everyone. For our last video in simplifying with exponents, we've got an absolute beast of an expression here. I'm going to walk you guys through how to simplify this. There's again lots of different things going on here, but when you break it down step by step, piece by piece, I think you'll find that it's a bit not as intimidating as perhaps it looks. All right, so the first thing I'm going to actually do is add in my ninja ones where I need to add them in. Okay, and in this case, I've got three that I can add in. I've got one here, and then one here. Right, so that's my first step, kind of like prep. All right, now in the numerator, I see that I have parentheses means quantity, right? I have this quantity value all raised to the negative second power. So I'm going to use my power to a power rule, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and apply that and use that rule. Now, notice here that when I do this, I'm not drawing an arrow to this a to the first that I'm hovering with my stylus right now. Okay, that's because it's outside of the parentheses. So I only use that power to a power rule. I only apply the exponent multiplying to the bases that are inside of my quantity. So in this case, my a to the first, we'll use a different color. Okay, so my a to the first stays unfazed, untouched. Now, -2, again, I'm multiplying my exponents. I'm not multiplying my bases, so I have -2 raised to the fourth power. -2 times -2 is 4. And then same thing here. It's not b times -2. It's the exponents. -3 times -2 is going to be positive 6. B to the sixth. Okay, and then all over. Okay, b to the first, a to the third, b to the first. All right. Now my next step from here, and I can actually well, let's do this in the next step. My next step from here, in the denominator, as you notice, I have two b values, right? I'm multiplying, it's b to the first times a to the third times b to the first. So I can use my product rule, right, and simplify that down to b squared, because again, I add my exponents. Now, at this point, okay, I'm actually going to rewrite my expression so it's a little bit easier to work with, okay? I'm going to take this coefficient, this -2 to the fourth, I'm going to put that in front, okay? And then I'm just rearranging it, all right? And I'm allowed to do this through the commutative property of multiplication, all over a to the third, b to the second. All right, this looks a bit easier to look at. All right, now, again, I always like to tackle my coefficients first. In this case, I have the opposite of 2 raised to the first power. Now, you'll notice I said that differently than -2 raised to the fourth. Again, there's no parentheses here, all right? And when there are not parentheses, you're not taking -2 to the fourth. Okay, really what you're saying is this. You're saying -1 times 2 to the fourth, okay? So then that leaves us with -1. Okay, again, I would always use a calculator on this, but 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So -1 times 16, that's equal to -16. So again, we simplified that first part, or that I should say the coefficient. Now, for the rest of this, okay, I'm going to look at my a values. I have a to the first over a to the third. Again, using the quotient rule, I need to do 1 minus 3, which that's going to give me a to the negative second. All right, and then with my b values, I have, we'll do this in a different color. We've got, oops, we've got b to the sixth over b squared. Again, quotient rule, we're going to do 6 minus 2. That's going to leave us with b to the fourth, right? And then my final step to simplify, I'm kind of running out of real estate here. My final step to simplify, I can't have a negative exponent, so I'm going to take my a squared and put that in the denominator, and just to make it look nice, I'll shift this over. So then my final answer should be -16 times b to the fourth all over a squared. So again, don't get intimidated when you see a really, a large problem. Just break it down into simpler steps and follow the rules and trust the math. Thanks. Enjoy.